Fiat have always been renowned for their small cars. One just has to think of the little 500 and 600 of the 1950s and 60s, and to the modern 500, which is no longer such a little car, but it certainly is in that same vein. But Fiat South Africa stated recently that they want a car for every type and every sort and every need, so that the growing family will also have a vehicle in their range. This is their medium-sized sedan or hatchback called the Tipo, very recently launched in 1.4 and 1.6 litre versions. This is the 1.4 litre lounge, as they call it, and you'll see on the interior and spec why they call it the lounge version. Your hatch gives you 280 litres of boot space with all the seats up, or you can of course fold down seats as standard and as normal and go up to about 860 litres of load space. Fairly high hatch over here, but you close it to a very neat rear end. But what really counts on the car, of course, is what's on the inside. Inside the Fiat Tipo, you can see very neat dashboard, very neat instrumentation. And just to tell you before we even continue, the buttons over here operate the onboard computer. And looking over here, we've done 374 kilometers on this test, and we have average fuel consumption of 7.5 litres per 100 kilometers. Now, this has been very much including city driving, traffic and commuting, so I think it's a fairly good reflection of what you can expect from this vehicle. You can have a look over here, and these are some important and useful little buttons over here for your traction control and for your tire pressure monitoring system below it over there as well. So these are items that you do get, of course, on the lounge version. You go across to the center over here, and an interesting anomaly on the car is you'll see you have full navigation, of course your phone over here as well, etc., and the navigation system. But good and bad, because it works very nicely, it's a very neat system, but you'll see it's a rather small screen, I thought. And for example, I found on here the little buttons to press certainly a lot smaller than what I would like to use as a general. So is very useful. Also a nice feature, of course, engage reverse gear, and you do have a reverse camera operating as well. So it gives you all of these features, but maybe Fiat, a slightly bigger screen, I think would be a nice feature to have. You come down the center console over here, you can see you do have climate control, very effective, works very well. And your central locking over here. This button over here is interesting as well, a feature of Fiat, which is that you press that little button saying city, and it just lightens up your steering, gives you a lighter feel to the steering, etc., for traffic and city commuting use. Gearbox wise, you've got a 6-speed manual and nice close ratios, very effective gearbox, very smooth, very easy to use, very light shift and the clutch, all very light, very easy to use. And believe me, the one thing about this gear shift is you do use the gears quite a lot while driving the Tipo 1.4. And that is one of the things you're either going to love or hate about this car, is the fact that you do need to use the gearbox quite a lot. Let's take a look at what it's like in the back as well, because being your family hatch, shall we call it, it is an important feature that you know exactly how much space you're going to have in the back seat as well. Moving into the back seat of the Fiat Tipo, plenty of legroom for me, enough headroom with my hat on, remembering that the driver's seat is set for myself as in my normal driving position. The cloth upholstery is very comfortable, 2 to 3 in the back seat, no problem at all. Now, the Tipo comes, the 1.4 version, it's a 70 kilowatt, 124 Newton meter engine, and petrol, of course. That 6-speed gearbox, as I mentioned just now, you're going to need to use it a lot, because the only real thing with this car is your power to weight ratio is a little bit light at 56 kilowatts per ton, and that's a little bit low on a car of this sort. So what it means is the minute you encounter any sort of hill or uphill or want to overtake, you're certainly going to be shifting down to 5th and even 4th gear. Something to keep in mind, maybe if you really commute a lot, maybe the automatic version would be a better option for you as well, that is available. So just something that I think is to be thought about and to be taken into account. A lot of people commenting that they feel the car is a touch underpowered. I wouldn't say underpowered, but just be ready to use that gearbox. Price-wise, for this version, you're looking at 289,900 Rand. You do get the easy version, which is same engine, same everything, just slightly lower spec at 269,900. So it is a very competitive 3-year, 100,000 kilometer maintenance plan included in this price as well. Take that into account, please. There is a lot of competition in this area of the market and in this segment of the market. I would go on and on if I gave you competitors, but you can look at cars like the Suzuki Baleno, the Ford Focus, the Mazda 3, the Kia Rio, or the Hyundai i20, and there are many, many more I'm going to leave out if I try and give you all of them, because there are so many competitors for this car. The point being, if you like being that little bit different and you don't want to drive the same car as everybody else, and you enjoy using a nice, slick, easy to use gearbox, well, I think this is a car maybe you should take a look at. Certainly wouldn't do you any harm. For Motor Matters, I'm Alan R, and I'll see you next time.